have advanced to the final night. The Red Baron WCHA Final Five capped tonight at the Xcel Energy Center in downtown St. Paul, with Denver advancing to the championship game for the third time in the last 4 years. They beat Bemidji State in the semifinals 6-2 yesterday, scoring 4 times in the third period. They look for their first championship since 2008. On the other side, North Dakota beat Colorado College in a classic 4-3 last night. The Fighting Sioux trying to become the first team to win back-to-back playoff championships in the WCHA since 2004. Hi everyone, welcome inside the arena with Casey Hankinson. I'm Anthony LaPanta. This one figures to be an outstanding, fast-paced, physical hockey game between the two most skilled teams in the conference. And it features maybe the top 2 lines in the conference that are both on top of their games right now. First off, for Denver, their top line led by Shore, Zucker, and Salazar.
Well, and you got to love the intensity of the competitiveness of this line. Zucker, he wants the puck every time on the ice. Drew Shore, Mr. Consistency this year. And Salazar, huge night last night. And for Denver to play off to a quick start here, they're going to need to show up early.
That trio has combined for 112 points this season, and they've been really good through the postseason. They've come up with all the big goals for Denver, 2 goals and 2 assists so far in this Final Five. Now tonight, many times they'll be matched up against the Pony Express line for North Dakota. They've piled up even more, 128 points on the year.
Well, you've got the Hobie Baker candidate and Frattin Malone, the big body that drives the net hard every time, brings a physical game, and Trump, so much creativity. Had a great pass last night to Frattin, and this is just such a fun line to watch. They bring the intensity not only with the way they play, but the way they stay on the body, and we're headed for a great game here tonight. Coaches
will always talk about the need to have their best players playing their best at the end of the year. Matt Frattin has scored a goal in 7 consecutive games. It's the Pioneers and the Fighting Sioux for the Broadmoor Trophy. Who will be the hero tonight?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Let's play hockey.
Congratulations to all of those award winners, and as you can see, most of them will be on display here tonight in this final. Before the opening faceoff, Casey, let's set the game plan.
Well, what a classy move by the North Dakota Fighting Sioux fans, giving Dean Blaze a standing ovation. Denver, they need to play their own game and attack the North Dakota defensemen. They've got a talented group of North Dakota D. They need to take it to them right away and be all over them. They also need to be ready right from the start. Puck drops, they need to be on their feet, on their game, get pucks deep, and go to work. For North Dakota, as we mentioned earlier, their leaders, Frattin, Malone, Trump, they've got to stay physical. The more physical they are, the more opportunities they get, and keep the pedal down. Last night they had a great first period and a great third. They let CC back in the game in the second period. This team is ultra talented, North Dakota, but again, they're facing a great team in Denver. They need to keep the pedal down and play hard all 60 minutes.
Our Liquid Ice starting goaltender, Sam Britton, was brilliant in the semifinal win against Bemidji State, stopping 36 of 38 shots. Third in the league with that goals against. He leads the conference with a 92.3 save percentage. And on the other side, a man who has won more games than any goaltender in the country. 27 wins for Aaron Dell this year. The only goaltender in the WCHA with a goals against under 2 at 1.90. Our officials tonight, the referees are Derek Shepard and Marco Hunt. Nathan Freeman and Tony Zeck, the linesmen. The all-time series led by North Dakota, but as you can see, the Pioneers have the upper hand in playoff meetings. They also have the upper hand in the NCAA tournament, including a 2005 national championship game victory over the Sioux. They've won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these teams. We're underway. The Pioneers in red, North Dakota in white. The top 2 teams during the regular season now square off for the Broadmoor Trophy. Play comes into the North Dakota zone. Blood out to center. Hammered back in by Ryder. Forbort back to play it for the Sioux. Around behind the goal. Picked up on the other side by Blood. Blood comes across to the near side for Trupp. Into the corner they go. Trupp trying to find Malone behind the net. Hit a skate. It deflects to the line, but not out. And now the second try, the Pioneers do clear to center.
One thing to watch early in this game as well is North Dakota used to a smaller sheet. They do a very good job of playing the puck off the wall, using the boards as another team member on their team. They did it really well last night, even shooting the puck wide to try to get another opportunity in front of the net.
Fighting Sioux back after it in their own zone. Comes to the point for Mikowski. Across to Donovan, a shot. That's blocked on the way by Genoway. And Genoway clears to the line and out. As they say that Donovan did not knock it down in time. You look at the line combinations for North Dakota. George Gwozdecki, 17th season as the Pioneer head coach, has brought this team back to the top of the WCHA. Dave Haxtell in his 7th season will be heading to his 7th consecutive NCAA tournament. First 4 seasons under Haxtell, the Fighting Sioux advanced to the Frozen Four.
Well, what I loved, Anthony, in the pregame talking to the coaches, they both talked about pride, commitment, emotion. These are two teams that are very well coached, very competitive teams, teams that love to compete, love to get out there and work hard. And you like to see those two teams get results at the end, playing against each other here in a great WCHA matchup.
Brock Nelson starts out for North Dakota. The freshman from Warroad splits 2 defenders, then is dumped. And the Pioneers start back with Lee. To the line, but not out. LaPointe holds the zone. Cristo has it stripped off of his stick and out to center. Dylan Simpson wraps it back in for North Dakota. Lee overskated it. Nelson has it in the circle. Lee paid a heavy price as Cristo wiped him out in the corner.
Danny Cristo had a great game last night, all over the puck, had a great goal coming down the wing, but also his work ethic. He was on top of every player on the opposing CC team, and that's going to happen when you have some games out. You get that hunger when you're back in the lineup.
Simpson golfs it into the Denver zone. Lamoureux knocked down by Lee. Phillips on the far side, got it to the line, and it deflects up and out of play. Danny Cristo had been out of the lineup for North Dakota until last night. He returned and instantly lit the lamp for the Fighting Sioux. He had the first goal in the game. Hadn't played since way back in late January. You could just tell he was a guy who was anxious to get back, but Casey Dave Haxtell was impressed with how he didn't show a lot of rust in his game.
Well, and he's a goal scorer, so you don't generally lose that touch. But I did like the fact that he finished every check he had. He was into the game. He was intense. And every lineup, every line that North Dakota has brings that same intensity. At the same time, Denver, very young team. They're freshmen in the lineup. They don't play like freshmen. They play like sophomores. So look for them to be a difference maker in this game tonight, too.
Ostro chips it out to center where Blood has it for North Dakota. To forward on the near side. He gains the red line and dumps it in. Ryder back to play it for Denver and a turnover. Fighting Sioux have it. McWilliam across to the far point. Genoway back to McWilliam. His shot steered to the corner. Trupp into the circle to Frattin. McWilliam pitches in to hold the zone, and then it's poked out to center ice by Ostro.
Thought Andrew McWilliam had a great game for North Dakota. He's only got 7 assists on the year, but he was very involved offensively, drove deep, and had a nice setup on Davidson's goal.
Genoway back to pick it up for North Dakota in his own zone. Feeds Trupp. Trupp to Malone, who partially fanned. Bouncing puck picked up by Genoway, who enters the zone. To Frattin in the circle. Frattin run over from behind, and here comes Zucker for Denver. Zucker races into the North Dakota zone, a shot, and Dell got a piece of it. It deflects out of play, and we get a whistle. No score, just getting started in the championship game.
Take it away, coaches. All right, Wild fans, it's time to drop the puck. So everyone, including you great Gopher fans, say it along with us. Let's play hockey.
That was earlier today here at the Xcel Energy Center before the Minnesota Wild played host to Columbus. George Gwozdecky hoping for a little help in the crowd, but I don't think he's going to get much. Most of them are decked out in green here in St. Paul tonight.
Well, it was an impressive last night. It's like Ralph Engelsted's moved to St. Paul. They've got a great traveling, the Sioux do great traveling fans, and they were loud. Got the team involved early last night, and just really an impressive group of fans in North Dakota.
Kevin Gorg is with us between the benches here tonight. Kevin.
Yeah, guys, two great programs that you guys have both talked about, but very contrasting as far as veteran leaders on these hockey teams. Denver, a very young team. 4 of their top 6 forwards are freshmen. Their goaltender, Sam Britton, also a freshman on the North Dakota side. 4 of their top 6 forwards are seniors. So you've got that leadership, you've got that experience. I think that certainly favors North Dakota. And then, Casey, you just talked about it. This building is all green right now. It is a huge home ice advantage for the traveling Sioux.
6 freshmen in the lineup for Denver tonight. And that's been the story for them all year. They had to replace most of last year's team. As you look at the way the season has broken down for these two very good penalty killing units. They're the top 2 in the conference. We'll have an interesting matchup when North Dakota goes on the power play. They have the league's best power play. Denver, the league's best kill. North Dakota, number 1 in the league in scoring, number 1 in the league in scoring defense. Denver, however, is on the board first. Dustin Jackson left alone out front, and it's 1-0 Pioneers.
Well, speaking of leaders, that's a big goal by Dustin Jackson. He's one of their junior leaders, He's a big body. He competes every night. He's definitely a role player on this team. That's going to be his 5th goal of the season. And it's a great pass from another leader, Kyle Ostro. Here's a play behind the net out front, right in front of the net. Jackson out of the screen, goes low left side, and that's a big goal for Denver. That's exactly the start that George Gwozdecky wanted from his team. He wanted his team to play their own game, get pucks on net. It's a big goal for Denver.
Bennett and Miami assist on the goal, and the Pioneers have a 1-0 lead. Miami has very quietly piled up some impressive numbers this year. That's his 28th assist of the season. 7th in the conference in that department, but he's had huge success against North Dakota. He's the highest scoring Pioneer in his career in games against the Fighting Sioux. Now 12 points in 15 games. Pioneers play it in. Dell leaves it behind the net. Blood ahead to Lamoureux, and now it's center for Davidson. Davidson's knocked down as he enters the Denver zone. Donovan plays it up to the far boards, and it's carried out to center by Ostro. 2 Ostros on this Denver team, Sean and Kyle. 2 Shores on the team. They center their top 2 lines. Drew, a sophomore, Nick, a freshman. Pioneers poke it in deep and complete a line change. Lamoureux starts out for North Dakota. Lost it at center. Played back in by Ostro. And the Sioux has to regroup. Flipped all the way down into the Denver zone as North Dakota makes a change.
Well, and the reason the freshmen have been such a vital part of this program for Denver is because of the senior leadership and the leadership from the upperclassmen like Dustin Jackson, like Ostro. On the back end, Chris Newton-Nee. Those are guys that are cogs in the lineup that have really led these freshmen. George Gwozdecky didn't know what he was going to have with these freshmen, and here they are in the championship game of the Final 5.
Trump bobbled the puck on the far wall. He and Malone battle. Trump plays it across to the near side. Salazar flips it all the way down. Zucker gives chase. Icing waved off. Zucker drops it back. Shore to the point to Ryder, and his shot is tipped just wide. Around behind in the far corner, Salazar for Shore. Salazar has it back as Shore is wiped out by Malone. Frattin pokes at it. It winds up and out of play. And now we get pushing and shoving. This is nothing new between these two schools.
Well, and that's Malone's game. He's a big body, goes to the net hard every time, had a big hit early. The more he hits, the more he's into the game. Got some penalties coming here.
And let's wait and see. Now here's the first hit. That's Malone. That came after a whistle. Ryder takes exception. The whistle had already blown because the puck had been hit by a North Dakota player on the bench. So then there will be matching penalties.
And that's going to be
this.
A penalty on Malone. He had a good first hit to start. Then he comes in the second one. Salazar not seeing it. Malone probably shouldn't have made that hit, but it's a penalty.
Now earlier this season, there was a big hit thrown by Malone when these two teams met in Grand Forks on Jesse Martin. And you can see Martin go down. We heard from Martin yesterday, and his recovery is going well. This hit, a clean hit by Malone as Martin had his head down. But it's just another in a long list of very physical moments in this series. We've seen bench clearing brawls between these teams. We've seen George Gwozdecki ejected in Grand Forks, all in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, there's a lot of feistiness in this series that goes back to regionals, that go back to Final Fives. You certainly never, ever, ever want to see what happened to Jesse Martin.
Back in the 2005 Final Five semifinals, these teams met, and you can see this hit broke the neck of Robbie Bina of North Dakota. Denver went on to win the game 2-1 in overtime. As I mentioned earlier, they've won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these teams, and they've won 3 of 4 meetings in the Final Five. Denver will get a power play out of this. It's a roughing minor that goes against Ryder. The initial hit is a boarding call against Brad Malone. Kevin, this happened right in front of you.
Yeah, and certainly caught the attention of George Gwozdecki and the staff on the Denver side. The commentary that I heard from that play is that they're going to try to take cheap shots like that after the whistle, make them pay. The best way to do it, guys, is not to retaliate, to bury it on the power play. We'll see if that bears out.
Frattin and Malone are the 2 guilty members of the Fighting Sioux, and here's a chance for Shore. Second try, and the skate save made by Dell.
Big save there by Dell, keeps him in the game 1-0 here. As Kevin mentioned, a huge opportunity for Denver here, especially as a young team, to get on top early.
Mikowski walks into the near side. Zucker a shot. Ostro on the rebound, and he flipped it over the top of the net. The net comes loose. Great chance for Denver on the power play. Hextall steps in. He seems to always be in the middle of these things.
Big hit here by Bennett and McWilliam. Bennett, a big, rangy, tall kid with good hands. McWilliam is a big physical player. Gotta love the sound, love the action and the intensity. And then here's the shot by Zucker. Big save by Dell, and another try by Ostro. It gets cleared by Dell. And look for more of that, getting the pucks on net. Jason Zucker certainly likes to shoot the puck. Traffic in front.
Draw controlled by North Dakota. The Fighting Sioux dangerous when shorthanded. 9 shorties this year, including 1 in last night's semifinal.
And watch
Salazar.
Hextall here. He's been going off the bench, but he's been on fire as of late. Great feisty player for the Fighting Sioux.
In the near corner, Miami played it to the point. Shore holds the zone. Blood and Miami battle. It winds up behind the net. Salazar to Miami. Clear to the line and out as it hops by Drew Shore. North Dakota's penalty kill has been very good lately. They had killed 17 in a row before Colorado College scored twice with the extra man last night. Shore flips it in with less than half a minute in the power play. Off the glass and by Shore at the line. It comes all the way back into the Denver zone. Donovan back to pick it up.
And North Dakota on the kill is going to have constant pressure, especially with the forward on top.
Here comes Donovan, 2-on-1. Donovan in deep, trying to center for Bennett. Bennett never got a shot away. Shore holds the zone at the point. To the half wall. Now back to Shore. North Dakota's at full strength. A block shot at the line. Cristo pokes it ahead. Here's Malone into the circle. Malone stopped. And on the rebound, he's stopped again by Britton.
Well, that's what Malone does so well, is he's not afraid to take the puck to the net, brings it right to the net, does a great job to get a scoring chance.
Great chances at both ends during a Denver power play. 1-0 Pioneers.
Here we're going to take a look at Dustin Jackson's first goal. It's all going to start for some great forechecking. Hold it right here. Two bodies on one right down low for Denver on North Dakota. That's how it starts. Good compete level. Stop it. Now we got three North Dakota players all facing the puck. Roll it. Stop. There's Jackson coming in, the big body. Still these North Dakotas are looking the other way towards the net. Before you know it, Jackson, roll it. Quick shot. That's the key right there, is the quick shot in the lower left. Big goal for Dustin Jackson.
5 skaters aside now. The penalties have all expired. Shore spins out of his own zone. Zucker flips it rink wide, looking for Salazar. But that's broken up, and here comes Danny Cristo for North Dakota. Cristo has it broken up. Great hustle by Zucker, coming back defensively for Denver. Davidson tried to center. Ryder had his man tied up out front. It's 2-on-2 for Denver at center. Zucker with Salazar on the backhand. Whips one just wide. Malone to Frattin. Forbort at center finds Malone. They enter the zone with speed. Malone to the outside. Behind the net, it hops by Frattin. Frattin knocks it down in the circle. Trupp battles to hold the zone. Ostro got it out for Denver and throws it into the far corner. Malone after it. Collides in the corner with Ostro. And the Fighting Sioux start out. Malone ahead to Frattin. Frattin bearing down. He partially fanned. Never got a shot away.
Like a pretty good defensive play by Phillips. But bad line change by Denver. Able to spring Frattin loose. But a good defensive play by Phillips.
Phillips was then run over by Malone behind the play. Denver trying to match North Dakota in the physical department. This will be icing against North Dakota as the Pioneers get to the dots first. And let's watch once more this play by Phillips.
Well, here's the defense coming back, and I believe this is going to be
this one's Zucker.
This is when Zucker comes in. He brings so much to the table. He is such a competitor. And then here is Phillips coming down on Frattin. Frattin does a nice job, gets that left leg extended. More of a collision than anything. Frattin is so good, so agile. Tries to flex that left knee. Phillips comes back hard, makes a great play. And that's going to be a really telling point in this game. Both defensive cores are so solid. They do everything from offensive defensemen to grinding defensemen to puck moving. Very solid on both sides.
Very quick whistle as Miami threw one toward the net. And again, there's some banging going on behind the play. Ostro battling with Hextall. Denver's freshman class has really been amazing this season, and George Gwozdecki knew he had to have them step up. Take a look at what these guys have produced. Zucker, second leading scorer in the nation among rookies, but he's not the only one who's been producing.
Well, it's almost like a geography class looking at this group, where they're from, with Zucker from Las Vegas, Mikowski from Missouri. They have an incredible amount of recruiting class and depth. Denver does a phenomenal job of scouting, whether it's the USHL, the North American League. There's 13 different states, I believe, that Denver players are from, and really only one province, which is Alberta.
Pioneers have a couple of players from right in Denver, the Shore brothers. But take a look at just how much traveling they must do as recruiters.
How's your geography? You do well in that, Anthony?
We was pretty sharp.
Almost every state is covered there, and then you're right, the program that they've had in Colorado and Denver is phenomenal with the Colorado Thunderhawks.
Almost every state. I did know enough about geography that I can count up to 50.
With or without your shoes on.
But 13 hockey playing states is impressive.
Well, and that's just a credit to the entire hockey, how it's grown in the United States, especially with a lot of the California kids coming in with the expansion of the NHL in the early 90s. It's a real credit. It's a credit to the Denver staff to be able to see all those guys and pick good ones to come in, and that freshman class is impressive, very impressive.
Icing here against Denver. I thought it was really interesting talking with George Gwozdecki about this matchup tonight, and he said, went on for 4 or 5 minutes about how impressed he was with North Dakota, how talented they are, how explosive they are, how physical they are. And then followed it up very quickly with, but this is not David Goliath. We feel like we're pretty good too, and we've beaten them 5 out of the last 7.
Well, and talking to Matt Latch, who won 2 national championships for Denver and played at Denver, was volunteer assistant coach, now a scout with the Anaheim Ducks. He's a very trusting Gwozdecki coach. Very organized, no surprises, a lot of beliefs in his team, and that carries over. When a coach believes in you, you come out here and play hard for him.
Lee enters the North Dakota zone, then has his shot blocked. Plays it in deep where Blood goes back after it. Blood circles in his own zone. Leads the rush at center ice. He's taken down from behind. Penalty coming against Denver. Jared Murmas will go. And North Dakota will go on the power play with a chance to tie it when we return.
I think rivalries are built on big games at playoff time, and these two teams have played against each other and met each other at an important time of the year several times over the past few years. We've had great hockey games. Again, very competitive. There's always been you know, a skill aspect, a physical aspect, and really, you know, a real strong focus and mental aspect to these games, and it'll be no different tonight. It should be a great game.
North Dakota's on the power play. Dave Haxtell talking about the rivalry with Denver. They've played in some big games, no question about it. Denver has won the only conference championship played between the teams. That was in 1999, and they beat North Dakota in the NCAA championship game in 2005.
Well, and Anthony, one of the words I like there that Coach Haxtell talks about is the mentality, and that's what they do really well at North Dakota, is the mental aspect of the game. Ready to play against anybody, ready to play any type of style. More than X's and O's, they're a great mentally sound team.
Into the Denver zone, but Shore is there for the Pioneers. Try to get it to Donovan and then back. Shore now has it, and a second try to get it out. The Pioneers, the best penalty killers in the conference at 85.6%. They go up against the best power play in the league, North Dakota, at 23.5%.
And what North Dakota wants to do is set up early and get shots. If you get shots earlier, that allows you to be a little bit more creative the second half of the power play, or even as the power play goes on. Once they think you commit to a shot, Denver will get a little tighter, lanes will open up. But right now they're having a tough time just setting up and getting in the zone.
A lot of chatter, guys, in the North Dakota bench. They want the feet moving. They're not happy with the way this power play is going.
Marteau carries in. Stood up by Lee. Throws Lee to the ice as he goes after a loose puck. Marteau tried to center. Knocked down, gloved and dropped, and an outstanding penalty kill for Denver.
Well, a good penalty kill is speed and commitment, and Denver brings both those. Great speed up front, not afraid to get in front of block shots, and very smart players as well.
Icing called here against the Fighting Sioux. Denver has been very aggressive against this North Dakota power play.
Well, again, they're very, very up front with the North Dakota players, finishing the body. Great pressure all over the ice. Quick feet, always feet moving. And they get in front of pucks very, very quickly, and they're ready to hop. That's done also by a very mobile defensive core that they have as well.
Final seconds of a Fighting Sioux power play that did not produce a shot on goal. And we're now back to 5 skaters aside.
North Dakota's been a little off in the intensity. last night, the first shift of the game. Frattin goes to the net, draws a penalty. Malone pops the goalie's helmet off. They started out right from a bang. The crowd was into it. Tonight, a little bit softer, a little bit slower. Not as loud as the North Dakota faithful here tonight.
Christo centers. That's kicked aside by Britton. Dickin holds the zone at the point. They now battle in the corner. Dickin there. Christo as well. Bennett for the Pioneers. Feeds Shore through neutral ice. Ahead to Mermis, who enters the zone. He had Shore alone in the slot. Couldn't get him the puck as he was taken down by Forbert. Makowski and Donovan. Two outstanding defensemen for Denver. Dickin on the near side. Pinned to the wall as he enters the Denver zone. Nelson joined the play. Got the puck in deep, but the Pioneers clear. LaPointe has it at neutral ice.
A lot of neutral zone play right now. Good angling by both teams, trying to cut time and space away from the opponents. Therefore, it's kind of a neutral zone game. Denver trying to get the puck in and continue their forecheck, continue to get bodies, continue to win the races.
LaPointe for North Dakota. Through center, it's relayed in by Dickin. Fighting Sioux make a change. And this will be icing against Denver as they were looking for a tip from Ostro, but did not get it. Face off in the Pioneer zone.
Kevin, one of the times you get a game like this with two of the best teams in the WCHA, a lot of excitement. The energy just hasn't been there in the building. What are you feeling down between the benches?
Well, I think you're exactly right on the North Dakota side. They look a little tentative to me. They're not as aggressive as you normally see a Fighting Sioux team. On the Denver side, I just think they've been the more poised club. Even though they're the younger club, as I alluded to earlier, they've just been more effective, and they've taken the crowd out of the game, which, Casey, you also talked about. That's a key factor when you've got 15,000 fans in here from North Dakota to play the way Denver's played in the first period. This is prototypical of a team that knows how to win.
McWilliam plays it in behind. Top of the circle was looking for the one-timer, but the pass was off the mark, and the Pioneers come to center. Flipped into the North Dakota zone.
Well, and just to build quickly on Kevin's point is, as freshmen too, you don't know what to expect being a WCHA championship game. Certainly they've had great years, but this is kicking it up a notch in the intensity level. The more they can stay with it, the more confidence they have, the more comfortable they feel. Likely, the more aggressive and well played they make it for the rest of the first period here and into the second.
Blood starts out of his own zone. Forbert at center. Icing waved off as it was tipped on its way into the Denver zone. Nutini back to pick it up for the Pioneers. Zucker comes to center. Has Salazar with him at the North Dakota line, but Blood stops that rush. Forbert. Malone. Frattin on the far side. Frattin for Trupp at center ice. Nutini stripped him of the puck. Now a turnover, but Denver's there to cover up. Nutini enters the North Dakota zone, fires, and it's held by Dell. Physical action starting to pick up on both sides. Denver leads 1-0.
You know, I don't know if there's any team in the country that could have gone through this season, first of all, as preseason favorite, almost consensus, and lose some of their key guys at certain times during the year to injury, and yet never miss a beat. I mean, this team that we're playing tonight is loaded.
North Dakota is loaded, and they are still a bit shorthanded. Gregoire out of the lineup, but not only is he one of their top scorers, he was in the midst of his best stretch of the season. 27 points in his last 14 games.
Yeah, he had been playing great all year. A huge player with intensity, with skill for North Dakota. A guy that they sorely miss.
Nelson at center ice. Stood up by Nutini. Fighting Sioux not able to establish the forecheck that we saw last night at times against Colorado College. Part of the credit has to go to Denver for that. Jason Gregoire out of the lineup. He was hurt last week against Michigan Tech. They expect they'll have him back next weekend. You can see his numbers on the year. But as I mentioned, he was in the midst of an unbelievable scoring run. 27 points in 14 games.
Well, and he changes his lines up a little bit too, so there's new chemistry that has to happen. Looks like it's only going to be short term here, and he'll be back in the lineup. But certainly, their lineup is even more explosive when he's in it.
Dave Haxtell, confident that he'll be able to go, said that tonight was a must-win in order to get into the playoffs. He might be able to go. North Dakota has not had a shot in 13 minutes.
And that's not North Dakota hockey with that offense that they have in front of them, the forechecking, the tenacity. It's a credit to Denver. I think last night Colorado College has a great team, a very good team. Probably not as deep as Denver is. They played Gabe Gensel, Marciano a lot of minutes. There's 6 very high qualified defensemen for Denver, able to move the puck, get the puck out of the zone.
Coming up in our first intermission, Kevin Gorg with the goal scorer, Dustin Jackson. He also welcomed Michael Russo, one of the great beat writers in the NHL. Talk a little bit about hockey all throughout the state of hockey. Tough loss for the Minnesota Wild today against Columbus. Their playoff hopes are fading quickly this recent stretch. Now 5 losses in a row for Minnesota. Malone, final 10 seconds of the period, has his shot deflect out of play.
Denver doing a great job of quieting the crowd here. At the same time, it doesn't take much to get the crowd excited. North Dakota needs to continue to press, get more pucks on goal, get some energy in this building, get some good momentum going forward.
5 seconds. Offensive zone face-off.
Yeah, look for a play here, whether it's Genoway wheeling to the backside, Frattin a shot right off the bat.
Denver negates all that by winning the draw. And this will bring us to the end of the first period. Denver with the upper hand after 1. Pioneers slow this high-powered North Dakota offense and hold them to 6 shots on goal. Kevin Gorg will visit with the goal scorer Dustin Jackson on our first intermission next. Pioneers 1, Fighting Sioux 0.
Welcome back to downtown St. Paul. The Pioneers lead the Fighting Sioux 1-0 after 1 in the championship game of the WCHA Final 5. Goal scorer joins us here, Dustin Jackson. Impressive start to this hockey game. You got a big crowd from North Dakota here, but you held them to 6 shots, and you really seemed to take the crowd out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was basically going to be a home game for them here with all their fans, so we just tried to weather the storm there a bit and get pucks in and get pucks out, and we did a good job of that, and then we were able to capitalize and get one.
Talk about that goal that you scored. How'd the play set up, and how was it so easy for you to find the net?
It was just a loose puck behind the net. My line mates did a good job of finding it, and I just found some ice in front and just tried getting it on quick. Found a little room and went in for me.
Congrats on that goal, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's Dustin Jackson. He has his 5th of the season. Denver leads North Dakota 1-0 after 1. Stay with us here. When we come back, one of the best beat writers in the National Hockey League. His name is Michael Russo. You can hear from him right after this.
First period here tonight. Our great clip of the period. Relax. You're at Great Clips.
Well, here's the big goal that's good in front, gets Denver on the board. Ostro does a nice job, gets it right out to Jackson for the big goal. Believe they've credited Bennett with it, but that should change to Ostro. Huge goal for Denver to be up 1-0.
First period stats brought to you by Red Baron. Bring home that pizzeria taste. 1-0 Denver. Second period faceoff next. Second period just about set, and we are underway. Fighting Sioux trailing the Pioneers 1-0. The Broadmoor Trophy is on the line. We're 5 aside as we start this middle period with Kevin Gorg and Casey Hankinson. I'm Anthony LaPanta. Fighting Sioux in their own zone. Frattin hits the Denver line. Frattin to the outside, centered it. Was looking for Trupp. He was being taken down.
Newton did a great job there, keeping Frattin to the outside, contained him, didn't turn even though he was beat slightly, made him go wide, go outside. No scoring opportunity because of the solid defensive play.
Fighting Sioux in their own zone. Now a takeaway. Zucker walks out front. Dell was hugging the post. He got a piece of it, and Frattin starts back. 3-on-2 at center. Frattin up the right wing. Drops for Trupp. Tried to go back to Frattin. That was broken up. Nice poke check there by Donovan. Frattin high in the slot. His shot blocked by Donovan, who went down in front. Frattin pokes it to the wall, then tripped over it, and Salazar comes away with it for Denver. Salazar flips it through center. Genoway starts back for North Dakota. Poke checked away by Shore. He wraps it in. Centering pass. Kicked away. Now Lee at the point to the near side. Phillips. Phillips plays it in behind the goal. McWilliam throws a hit there. Genoway digging for it. On the half wall, a quick shot by Ostro. Deflects off the glass and to the line. Lee plays it in deep. Maiani lets it roll by for Ostro, who's taken down. Centering pass by Jackson. Intercepted by Hextall, who just flips it to the glass.
The simple story here early is just more battles, more races won by Denver at this point than North Dakota.
Kicked aside by Sam Britton. Just moments ago, Kevin Gorg caught up with North Dakota assistant Kerry Eads.
North Dakota assistant Kerry Eads joins us outside the locker room. Denver seemed to have the better of the play in the first period, not the usual energy from your squad. What kind of adjustments can you make?
Got to get our feet moving first and foremost, Kevin. Never had an established forecheck at all. Some real clean breakouts by Denver. Give their D credit, and also a nice pop-out play for their goal. Poor coverage in net. So not a great period by us. We're only down one. We've got to get our feet moving, get our forecheck game going, get our speed game going, have a much better second period, get back in it.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Guys, up to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Here's a good chance. But a backhander by Nelson, stopped by Britton. North Dakota had only 6 shots on goal in the first period. Denver had 10. LaPointe fires. Stick save Britton. Rebound. Backhanded on goal. Britton down. Score! Dickin was stopped on the first one. Cristo scores on the rebound, and we're even.
Well, as we said, it doesn't take much to get this crowd back into it, but it's a simple plays. It's just getting pucks to the net. LaPointe does a great job to get it through. Doesn't quite get through. Just throw the puck on net. Cristo is hanging around. And it somehow finds its way past Britton.
This may have gone in off the skate of Denver defenseman.
I believe it did. Went right off the defenseman. Here you're going to see a better look at it, a third look at it. I think it goes right off a Shore skate. Sure enough, there it does. Shore coming back to help out, goes right off his right skate, finds the 5-hole, and that is a large break for North Dakota as they were asleep at the switch for that first period, but that's not the type of team they are. Look for them to push to the pedal and stay on top of Denver at this point.
They've credited the goal to Cristo, but he never touched it. We'll see if they change that. They're going to stick with Cristo. The assists go to Dickin and LaPointe. Britton with a save, and the rebound loose. Lamoureux holds the zone. His shot's knocked down off the glass and out the center.
At the same time, Denver's just got to say, let's keep playing, boys. That's an unfortunate break. We're winning all the races. Let's keep winning the races.
Blood carries in deep. Centered it was deflected and out. Genoway retreats through neutral ice.
Another great stick there by Donovan. He's done a very nice job getting a stick in the lanes, blocking the passes for North Dakota.
Second goal of the weekend for Danny Cristo.
And that's a big goal for obvious reasons, tie it 1-1. But when you don't have a lot of momentum going, you're trying to almost fake the momentum. You're trying to get it puck in, get a forecheck. A goal like that spurs it instantly. And now they feel like they're back in this game. You see the bodies up. You see the coaches talking a lot more energy and positive energy.
Icing here as North Dakota gets to the dot first. Kevin, have you noticed a difference between the benches?
Absolutely, boy. It's almost like, as Casey mentioned, they flipped the switch, because when that puck went in, all kinds of intensity. And from that point on, now you're seeing a lot of hand slapping, a lot of noise on that bench. And I anticipate as this game goes, guys, this is one of those great rivalries in the WCHA. We haven't seen it yet, but I think there'll be some chatter back and forth. I'll keep you posted.
Genoway's shot is deflected. And a turnover results in Zucker coming through neutral ice. Good at the line as he beats Salazar. Tried to throw it back to Zucker. Zucker was tied up. Malone takes a hit. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Salazar's after it at the half wall. His shot blocked by Genoway. Genoway golfs it out to neutral ice. Here's Frattin. Frattin stood up and dumped. Nice play by Ryder.
Great play by Ryder to hold his good posture. Made Frattin try to get around him. Couldn't do it. Results in the puck getting out for Denver. And what we've seen a little bit early on for North Dakota was last night in the second period they started to force plays. And they need to get back to the simple game now after that, scoring that goal. Puck control, that's what they want to do. Control the puck, use their skill. Use the puck down low as Hextall's doing right now. Control it for their opportunities. Wear down those Denver defense.
Zucker starts out for Denver. Knocked down from behind by Hextall. And this again will be icing against Denver, and another faceoff back in the Pioneer zone. Zucker and Hextall tangling.
Through the game, you have certain moments of momentum. It's very interesting, the game of hockey, where there are a few minutes where it seems like Denver can't do anything wrong. Then North Dakota. Well, it's 15 minutes left here in the second. Of course, a ton of time left in this game, but this is going to be a very telling 2-3 minutes to see who takes charge from this point on. Denver's had a great start. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Now they get an unfortunate bounce. How do they respond? And how does the leadership team, a senior-led team, how do they react, North Dakota, as far as the creativity, the offensive pursuit they put on Denver's D?
George Gwozdecki upset on the bench, and he's asking the officials to keep an eye on Hextall. Hextall's one of those under-your-skin opponents at all times, and he's been trying to get in the head of Zucker through most of this second period.
He's very good at that, and he's also played very, very well the last few weeks and even few months for North Dakota. Comes from a very talented hockey family, tradition-rich hockey family.
Shot from the weak side. Now Miami centers, and a shot by Jackson held by Dell.
Well, they've done a nice job, that line again. Working deep, getting the puck out front for a big shot, big save by Dell.
Denver's had chances. We're even at one.
Wow, there's a lot on the line. I mean, the pride to just to play in this game is tremendous, but we want to win this hockey game. We're playing for the Broadmoor Championship. You don't need to say any more than that. There's an awful lot on the line. This is a great tournament. The excitement that surrounds this tournament is tremendous. We want to go out and we want to play our best hockey game. We're going to do everything we can to walk away with the Broadmoor Championship.
Dave Hextall talking about what's on the line here in this championship game. Two teams that will be playing next weekend. There's no berth at stake. Looks like North Dakota will be a 1, win or lose. Looks like Denver will be a 2 seed, win or lose. But no matter who you talk to from the league, they all talk about the pride that's on the line this weekend. And in many cases, the atmosphere and environment here, the rivalries that are renewed, make this tournament as important as any they'll play, even into the NCAA tournament.
Well, every team wants to win championships no matter what. That's how you build on success, is to continue to stay polished, to continue to stay competitive. And that's why these teams are here, because they're competitive individuals. They're the cream of the crop of the WCHA. One of my favorite quotes by Kerry Eads this afternoon, when I said, "You've got so much talent on North Dakota. You've got everything. What don't you have?" And he said, "We don't have a national championship."
Cross-checking coming here. That will put Denver on the power play. Watch it again. As you see Genoway.
Yeah, it looked like an innocent play coming in. Simpson and Genoway don't know who gets it. They kind of can't decide who. Shot goes above the net. Tough.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'll tell you what, guys, the
I don't
North
see a
Dakota
penalty
bench is really, really disappointed with that call. And Genoway came to the bench saying, "Guys, I didn't do a thing."
Genoway at least made contact. Simpson didn't even touch the opposing player. But Genoway's hit was clearly not a cross-check.
No, tough to find a penalty in there.
Give credit to Ostro, whose hustle forced the issue. But Denver gets a big break and a power play opportunity.
Again, Denver needs to establish himself early here with some shots. Try to get in the zone. Try to set up early, get shots on goal. Look for Drew Shore to work the puck up top with Donovan. Very good pair up top. And very crafty, small, quick forwards for Denver down low.
Denver had 3 shots on their first power play. Malone shorthanded for North Dakota. Taken off the puck in the corner, and here come the Pioneers. 4-on-3 at center ice. Shore drops it back. Donovan bobbles the pass, and it comes out to center. Salazar rolls it ahead. Shore fires, and a save by Dell. Rebound held by Donovan. Donovan walks in deep, drops it back to Shore. He lost it, and here comes McWilliams shorthanded for North Dakota. He has Frattin with him. McWilliams tried to drop it, and it's broken up. Nice play coming back by Miami.
Good hustle by Denver. Not a spot where McWilliams too familiar. A 3-on-1 shorthanded, but a great effort by Denver to stop the play.
Salazar takes a big hit from Hextall at center ice. Makowski back for Denver. Half a minute in their power play as Makowski comes to center. Up the left wing, Ostro fires, saved by Dell, and it trickled just wide. Rebound to the point, Makowski. Back to Shore, top of the circle. His shot blocked. Fighting Sioux able to clear. Lee retreats through neutral ice. And the Fighting Sioux wrap it in. An outstanding penalty kill by North Dakota.
Did a great job of containing. Great job of all 4 players for North Dakota in sync, staying tight, not letting Denver penetrate to get any type of good scoring opportunity.
Fighting Sioux at full strength. Cristo has it for North Dakota. Plays it ahead through neutral. Davidson works his way in deep, throws it out front, scores!
Line. Big goal by Davidson. Had a good game last night, scored the play, but watch Danny Cristo right here. When he gets the puck, he skates it up ice, he holds it, he holds it, he holds it, waits for Davidson to get open, drives down the way, puck comes off Karams. Now it's just going to be a bounce again, right out in front of the net. Just tries to throw it on net, but Cristo did a great job of pausing, waited Davidson to get some time and space. And just like Denver was fortunate earlier, Davidson's fortunate. Off the inside pad, it looked like a Britain. And a 2-1 game here.
Cristo and LaPointe assist on the goal by Davidson. Second assist of the night for LaPointe. And a couple of bad breaks for Denver. First North Dakota goal went in off the skate of Nick Shore. This one deflects in off the goaltender from behind the net.
Yeah, 2 tough breaks for Denver. Both of them very tough goals. Britain had positionally sound stance on each one of them. Just found a way to get into the net.
Murmas fires wide. We're going to have another North Dakota penalty as Nelson takes a man down away from the puck. We'll sort it out when we return. It's 2-1 Fighting Sioux. Here's another look at that last goal by North Dakota, and Casey, another bad bounce for Denver.
Yeah, Britain goes to do the poke check and leaves it exposed a little bit. Now watch as it hits off his right pad, or maybe his skate, and goes right into the net. Right off his skate, sure enough. He just leaves it a little bit open. That blade is 45-degree angle, and it goes right in the back of the net. Again, one of the things George Gwozdecki said, that when the chips are down with his team, they've responded very well. The chips aren't too far down, it's only 2-1, but they've had 2 unfortunate breaks. Goals that have gone in on crazy bounces, and a big response here on a power play with a penalty to Brock Nelson for interference.
Dave Axtell got an explanation on the call.
Not sure he agreed, but he did get an explanation.
And I thought this one was a no-brainer call. Nelson dragged a player down after he had given up the puck. Maybe wondering why there wasn't a retaliation penalty against Denver on the play. Pioneers on the power play for the third time. They're 0 for 2.
And watch Evan Trump up top. He does a great job of angling, taking away the time and space and forcing pucks down the wall so they don't come to the middle of the net if you watch 19.
Shore from the point has his shot blocked. Salazar to Donovan, across to Shore, into the corner, now back to Donovan. He bobbles it, and North Dakota's able to clear. It's a shorthanded break, 2-on-1. Genoway has Malone with him. Genoway drops to Trump. Oh, and what a block out front. We get a whistle and another penalty coming. This one a slash that will even it up.
Well, there's one.
Dakota's penalty killers again draw a penalty.
Well, here's one where Denver gets fortunate. Great play by Genoway to drive in. Cuts far. Trump is wide open. Play hits a skate here right off of Jackson's shin pad. It was a wide open goal. Jackson just in front. Trump hits the shin pad. They get a good, nice block there. Now we're going to go on 4-on-4 for a minute and 11 seconds here.
.111 of 4-on-4 hockey, and then the Fighting Sioux go on the power play.
Bo Bennett, first-round draft choice of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Very highly skilled, great shot, exceptional hands. He's out here on the 4-on-4 for puck control. That's what 4-on-4 is all about, is puck control.
Phillips dumps it in. Blood back to pick it up. Mardo on the near side for North Dakota.
Mardo's also very solid in this position. He's a guy that's played forward and D all year. Very responsible, very competitive kid. Can find a way to jump in the play or play sound defensively.
Shore to Bennett. Mini 2-on-1. Bennett fires and a save by Dell.
Nice save by Dell, staying composed. Going down when the shot is made, not going down too early. Bennett again. He's got great hands, comes in, makes a little fake move. Dell waits for the shot, and then he goes down, very compact. Shot hits him right in the Indian, not the shot that Bennett wanted, but nonetheless a scoring opportunity for Denver.
26 seconds left in our 4-on-4 situation, then a North Dakota power play. Forbert hits center ice and tosses it in. Lamoureux high in the slot. McWilliam hustles after it. Pioneers get it to the half wall. Maiani couldn't get it out. Here's a chance and a skate save by Britton. Corbin Knight had a good opportunity. Forbert with a long shot that goes wide. North Dakota's at full strength. They're on the power play for the second time.
Haven't had much success early, haven't been able to get to the zone. Denver does a nice job of having four guys clog up the neutral zone, making him dump the puck in and getting on that forecheck before they can.
Centering pass, Knight rolls it out front. Frattin poking. What a save by Britton. He robs Corbin Knight.
What a great save by Britton. He's been very composed in the second period. Great position. And he was down on his stomach, couldn't do anything about it, extended the glove, and Corbin Knight put it right on the backhand. Here's the play. Knight circles around. Bennett all alone.
I'll tell you what, guys,
Britton all alone. What a save.
When you're a goaltender and you make that kind of save, you get the feeling it might be your night, even with all the bad bounces off D-men and off your own pads. That's incredible.
That's a huge save for Britton.
Trump across to Frattin with a rocket that goes over the top of the goal. Pioneers can't get it out. 10 seconds left in the North Dakota power play. Frattin holds the zone. Hextall joins the play. Has it taken away by Nutini. They battle in the corner. The Pioneers are at full strength. Malone tried to wrap it in from a sharp angle. Pioneers gain control. 5 skaters aside as the penalty to Jackson has expired. Malone tried to jump around a check. Lost the puck in the process, and the Pioneers come to center. Briscoe back the other way. Briscoe centered. Nelson was there. Couldn't redirect. Trip coming here. And Denver will go on the power play again. You can hear the yelling from the North Dakota bench, but it looked like the stick got caught in the skates. It's a Denver power play when we return.
Welcome back. It's a 2-1 lead for North Dakota. Denver assistant Steve Miller joins us. Looks like Jason Zucker, one of your top players, has kind of been a target in North Dakota. How's he doing?
Well, right now he's back being evaluated by our medical staff, and I've been told by coach it's something to do with his elbow, so hopefully everything works out well.
All right, guys. Well, Denver does get a look on the power play, but they are minus Zucker right now.
Evan Trupp is the guilty member of the Fighting Sioux. Big power play for Denver, but it would be a big loss without Zucker.
Huge loss. He brings so much passion, so much compete level to Denver in a big game like this. He's sorely missed right now. Any minutes he's not on the ice, he can play in so many situations that it's going to be tough for Denver not to have him out on the ice right now.
Pioneers are 0 for 3 on the power play.
Really haven't established any type of power play at the moment. North Dakota doing a great job with the big bodies of Blood and Marteau out front. Very aggressive. Doing a phenomenal job on the penalty kill.
Denver has not scored on the power play all year against North Dakota, although they only had 3 chances in the head-to-head series in Grand Forks. 0 for 6, including this one tonight. Hextall on the far wall. Can't get it out, but McWilliam can. Donovan retreats through neutral ice. Cross to the near side for Shore. Shore plays it in. Dell back of the net for North Dakota. To the point, but not out. Shore wanted the one-timer, partially fanned. A centering pass. Shore there on the rebound, and Dell stopped him. These teams this season did not get the number of power plays they normally do. This has been a very physical series. We showed you some of that early. And look at the last 5 regular season series. The penalty minute totals, over 100 twice, and a number of power plays. But this year when they met in Grand Forks, only 39 penalty minutes total in the series, and only 10 power play opportunities. We've already seen 6, and we're only halfway through the game tonight.
Wow, you look back to some of those early numbers, talk about rivalry and intensity. That's incredible to have that many penalty minutes. But right now, Denver's just a little bit impatient, pressing a little bit too much. You need to slow it down a little bit once they get control, but that's also one of the issues they've had is getting that control. Ben Blood is a big body out there, long, rangy kid. Again, another kid with great compete level for North Dakota.
40 seconds in the power play. Denver comes to center. Flipped into the corner by Shore. He hustles after the loose puck. Bennett waits. Sends it across to Lee, who fires wide. Rebound hopped right over the stick of Shore. Knight able to poke it out to center. 15 seconds left in the power play. Makowski from high in the slot. A shot right on. Dell with an easy save.
Yep, another easy save for Dell. Not a ton of pressure. And here's Lee, big shot from Moorhead, Minnesota. He's got his head up. I believe he shoots this puck wide, looking for Shore on the other side to pop out. Very lively boards here at the Xcel Energy Center. McWilliam does a great job to tip that. If he doesn't, Drew Shore's got the puck on his stick and ready to score. I think that was a very heads-up play by John Lee.
Andrew McWilliam, another of the big, imposing defensemen for North Dakota. It seems they find 3 or 4 of these guys every year. He's 6'2", 220, and looked at as a little guy among their defensemen.
Well, it's no surprise to see these two teams at the end of the year. We talked about it earlier, but so strong defensively, almost to a guy that can play in every situation. When you have big, tough, strong defensemen like that, it's hard to get many opportunities, especially on the power play, and that's what Denver's had trouble with, is getting opportunities. Penalty going to be called here. A slash. Flashing penalty for Denver. North Dakota on the power play.
Mermis goes for Denver. And we get yet another power play situation. The second period has seen so many whistles that it's been hard to develop a 5-on-5 flow.
Well, and sometimes that carries over the power play. You don't have a lot of flow during the game. There's lots of whistles. A lot of guys don't play. They're in and out. They're playing with different individuals, and sometimes that carries over the power play, which I think we've seen for both teams.
North Dakota has had 2 earlier power play chances, just 1 shot. As you look at our Red Baron game reset, Cristo a goal. He had a goal last night as well. Jackson scored first tonight for Denver. But the Fighting Sioux have scored twice here in the second period. They're on the power play, leading by a goal.
Malone, big face-off here for North Dakota. Win the draw. Look for him to be in front of the net, causing havoc.
Denver wins the draw. Puck cleared, but not out. Hextall holds. Corbin Knight kicks one wide, grabs it behind the net to Malone.
Look at only 1 North Dakota player there. That's been the struggle. They haven't outmanned him on the power play. Need to still continue that work ethic, outmanning people on the penalty kill.
Up to Mardo, his shot deflected wide. They try and stuff it in from behind again. They scored 1 goal from behind the net already. And as Denver ices the puck, we get a whistle as Malone has lost his helmet down near the Denver goal.
Kevin, I'd be interested, and maybe it's just coaching philosophy, but you look down at the North Dakota bench, they're all standing up, hanging over the boards. George Gwozdecki, his bench is all calm, cool, sitting down.
A little different personality on both sides. You can kind of see this trend develop early in the hockey game. North Dakota players just a little bit more gregarious. I think their coaching staff, you watch the way these 3 guys coach, as intense a group of guys as you want to see. On the other side, George Gwozdecki extremely relaxed. And I think teams take on the personality of their head coach. And you can see the Denver bench, everybody sitting down, everybody calm. And that's what makes it kind of unique is Denver is the younger team. You would think that youthful enthusiasm would ride out on the side of the guys in red and gold, but it's certainly not the case. I think you can attribute that to the coaching staff that's behind each bench.
Fighting Sioux still on the power play. Near turnover by Genoway, but what a good recovery to poke check it away from Ostro.
There again, Donovan doing a great job of containing, cutting Cristo off, who had some speed. He's had a very nice defensive game for Denver.
Hextall has it in the corner. He's waiting. Now leaves it behind. Nelson's there. Nelson pinned to the boards by Phillips. Hextall rubbed out. Denver has it with Donovan. He gets to center, but then Nelson takes it away. He's sent head over heels on a hip check by Ostro, and we're going to get a penalty called on the play.
Kevin, you had a better look at it here. Did he go a little low? Is that the penalty from up here? It looked like a good hit by Ostro, one of their leaders.
I thought it was borderline, to be honest. Again, I think right now the officials are trying to maintain a level of control. To Anthony's point earlier, there's been a lot of extracurricular stuff, a lot of talking between whistles, and I think right now they're taking the high road. They want to call everything, but when you do that, you take away some pretty good play out here. It's going to be a physical game when these teams get together.
Now they're going to call a cross check. Well, this had to have been a different hit because it's going to go against Hextall behind the play.
We're going to take a look at it right here. Just a cross check from behind.
Looks like a dive to me, guys.
It's questionable. Let's just say that Hextall's had some more ferocious cross checks in his career.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
But I think Kevin's exactly right, though, Casey, in that the officials right now are trying to get control of a game that was on the verge of getting out of control. So even though we've seen a couple calls now going each way that maybe could have been allowed to go, if those were let go, who knows where the game goes next.
I think they get real concerned too when it gets close to the boards.
Four skaters aside, 2-1 Fighting Sioux. Jason Zucker out of the game at least for now for Denver, and we believe this is where it may have happened. As you see his right elbow crash into the wall. North Dakota has been making sure all night that he pays a price every time he touches the puck, and you see right there in a span of 4 strides, 3 different Fighting Sioux players made sure they made contact.
Well, he's a dangerous player, one of many to keep an eye on. Denver wants him desperately back in this hockey game.
We have not yet seen him since that play, and as we heard from their assistant coach Steve Miller, they're working or checking on his elbow. We'll update you as soon as we learn more. Denver about to go on the power play. They're on now as Mermis is back. Christo fires, and it's gloved and held by Britton. So with 1:09 remaining in the Denver power play, a faceoff coming in the Denver zone.
Danny Christo does a nice job there. He's been moving his feet all game, having a nice game with the puck. Very poised with the puck, just gets it on net. Goes for a change. Now, as you mentioned, Anthony faceoff in Denver zone.
Pioneers are 0 for 4 on the power play tonight. This is their 5th chance. Donovan comes to center ice where it's flipped in. Salazar to Donovan, who winds and fires. Blocker saved by Dell.
One of the few shots, but tough to score goals with nobody in front there for Denver. On that last shot.
Bobbles it and then whips it across out of the zone. Donovan has to go back and pick it up in his own end.
Just not in sync right now, forcing it a little bit too much. You're the coach, Gwozdecki, you're trying to simplify, just do basic things, get the puck in, move it around, get a few shots, make sure there's bodies in front.
Ostro drops. Salazar fires wide. Maiani can't get to a loose puck. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Frattin carries up the wing, fires over the top of the goal, and it's out of play. Last time Denver won the Broadmoor Trophy was 2008. Beat Minnesota 2-1 in the final. They were back in the final the next year, but lost to Minnesota Duluth. This is their 3rd championship appearance in the last 4 seasons. We talked about it last night, Casey. They're kind of on an every 3rd year plan. They won it in 99, 02, 05, 08. So it stands to reason that they win it again in 2011 as you look at their last 4 championships.
Well, it's a testament to the coaching staff at Denver. They've obviously done a great job recruiting, getting players year in and year out. Players left last year to sign early, sign pro. 4 of the top 5 of their players and an All-American goalie are gone, yet here they are back in the championship game.
We are 5 aside with less than 2 minutes to go in the period. 2 minutes, about the longest stretch of 5-on-5 hockey we've seen in this middle period. Shore dropped it to Bennett. He bobbled and lost it to Blood in the corner. Shore battling there. 2 Shore brothers, Nick, the freshman, and Drew, the sophomore. Knight works his way in. He's tied up, and the puck just rolls harmlessly in on Britton.
And that's not the end of the Shores. They've got another brother, Quentin, who's with the national development team on the 17th team. That's another phenomenal player. And they've got another little brother at home. I believe that's named Baker. So a big family of Shores.
Christo works his way in on goal. Britton hugging the post, holds them at bay. And we're going to face off in the Denver zone with 1:06 remaining in the second period.
Nice big hip check by Ben Blood coming in. He's one of the 30 plus 33, one of the leaders in plus minus. And then here's the other side. Christo again going to the front of the net. Brock Nelson right where he needs to be. Brock Nelson has come on of late from Warroad, Minnesota, having a great last 9 or 10 games where he's almost a point a game and a real factor in tonight's game. And unfortunately last night he was out for 5 minutes for checking from behind. There's a kid that's going to be motivated to do something here in the championship.
Ostro emerges from traffic with the puck. And it's a 2-on-1 for Denver. Ostro has Maiani with him, and his shot is blocked by Dell.
Dell very positionally sound. Kevin, you probably had a good look at that one coming in, but stayed right where he needed to be. Makes a nice blocker save. There's a little action in front of you. There it is. Stays poised. Oh, right off the stick. What I like about Dell is he doesn't go down there. He stays up the whole time.
Yeah, he's very positionally sound. He reminds me a lot of Nicholas Backstrom, who plays in this building for the Minnesota Wild. He's got the quiet feet. He's outsquared to the puck. He doesn't waste a lot of motion. You see a lot of young goalies that are trying to make that super-duper looking save. He's not that type of guy. He really trusts his instincts, and his instincts bring him out, get him set, and get him square. When you're square to the puck, your two shoulders and that puck that you're facing form a triangle, and he is rarely out of position, guys.
Penalties against Kyle Ostro and Matt Frattin as they were tangled behind the play. Each of them get a slash, and we are 4 aside once more.
Some offensive defensemen here with Mikowski and Donovan, Marto, and Getaway. Look for them to take a couple of chances.
Knight and Donovan battle in the corner. Knight takes him down. Shore has it. Got it to the line. Getaway could not hold the zone. It's poked out to neutral ice by Bennett. Nick Shore fighting through a check. Wheels and fires. That was blocked by Marto. Final 5 seconds of the period. A centering pass just out of the reach of Donovan. And the horn sounds, bringing the second period to an end. North Dakota scores the only 2 goals of the period. Kevin Gorg will visit with Brent Davidson. And he will also welcome the 2011 Red Baron Hockey Mom of the Year. We'll have highlights coming up as well. Second intermission is next. Kevin Gorg will visit with the goal scorer, Brent Davidson, in a moment. North Dakota leading 2-1 after 2. North Dakota on top 2-1. They score the only 2 goals of the second period. Time for our Great Clips of the period. Brought to you by Great Clips. Relax. You're at Great Clips.
And here's a big-time save by Sam Britton. He had a couple unfortunate bounces, very unfortunate bounces that led to 2 North Dakota goals. But here's Corbin Knight right on the doorstep. He's got everywhere to shoot. Sam Britton throws out the glove and makes a huge save.
Second period stats brought to you by Red Baron. Bring home that pizzeria taste. Third period faceoff is next. "20 minutes remaining to determine who will carry home the Broadmoor Trophy. North Dakota leading Denver 2-1. And we're underway. Here is Shore entering the zone. Drops to Bennett, who fires. Dell got a piece of it and then covers the rebound. And a quick whistle in this third period. Just moments ago, Kevin Gorg with Denver assistant coach Steve Miller.
By the Denver locker room, Steve Miller, the assistant coach, joins us. Great hockey game back and forth. Right now, though, you got to find a way to get the next goal. What did you tell the kids?
I would just tell them to stay with the game plan. We played very well. We've been able to get the puck behind their defense, forced them to play defense. We've created chances. We just got to take advantage of a couple of those opportunities.
All right, guys, take it away.
Well, let's see how long the Pioneers can do that. We are 4 aside to open this period. That was the theme of the second period. Whistles, and a lot of them.
Well, and that's the message that's in the Denver locker room right now, is we're playing the way we want to play. We've won the races. We've been a little bit unlucky. Let's stay with it. Keep getting the chances. We're going to find a way to win this game. On the flip side, North Dakota's saying we haven't showed them our game. Let's start out aggressive. Let's get pucks on net. Let's use some of our skill and try to break this game open.
Trupp in his own zone. Malone fires it in and heads off on a change. We get our first look at Jason Zucker since his elbow injury. Mikowski had it poke checked away. Then he was taken down, and Knight has it for North Dakota, sends it back into the Denver zone. We are now 5 aside, a minute and a half into the third period. Denver trying to make it 6 wins in the last 8 meetings with North Dakota. North Dakota trying to make it 9 consecutive wins overall.
They've been on a hot streak. They want to continue that in the national tournament. Now we're going to have a penalty.
Knight's going to go as he took Zucker down along the side boards, and the slash will put Denver on the power play. Getaway asking why there was no call at the other end, and there clearly could have been when Donovan turned the puck over in his own zone and then inadvertently took a North Dakota player down. Watch this again.
Yeah, kind of just a slash in from the side. We got a better look here is where it's just hits him right on the pant.
Be better if you didn't put yourself in a spot where you could be called.
Yeah, and it's been obvious tonight that the referees are going to call the stick infractions. It's happened. Some of them haven't been very vicious. Some of them haven't been very hard, but they've been called all night. It's been consistent.
Now it's a power play for Denver. The Pioneers are 0 for 5 with the man advantage. Bennett has the shot deflect out of play. Both of these teams have excelled in the third period this year. We asked George Gwozdecki why.
Our third periods have been good for us and have saved us many a time, but certainly we've made things more interesting than perhaps the old coach would like us to. But you know, I've got to give this team credit. I mean, when things have been challenging, they've come through many, many times.
In the third period this year, Denver is a plus 35. North Dakota is a plus 28. Best 2 ratios in the conference.
Again, it speaks to the competitiveness of these two teams. A never say die attitude. Always feel they're in the game. Always going to be pushing for more.
Nick Shore. Zucker. Up high. Mikowski waits, fires, and a save by Dell.
Not a bad shot there by Mikowski. Had somebody in front a little bit higher. You like that a little bit lower so it bounces around the pads. If it's high like that, Dell's able to save it and hold it tight. And I think one of the problems that Denver's had so far in this game is not great puck decisions. That's a good shot, just need to be a little bit lower, but there's a lot of times that the shot has been taken too soon or blocked or from far out. It's going to be tough to beat Odell from far out. Need to get bodies in front.
Donovan with a shot. There was a rebound, but the Fighting Sioux defense there to clear.
And Dell is just, as Kevin mentioned with the Backstrom, he's just very quiet, very solid. You're going to need to have second, third opportunities to beat Dell. He's a very talented goaltender. And of course, the best in the league, the WCHA this year.
Here's a chance for the Fighting Sioux. Short-handed Malone. Tried to get it to Trupp, but it deflects over the top of the net. Salazar. His pass at center. Too far for Miami, who takes a hit from Forbert.
Big collision by two Pioneers.
20 seconds left in the Denver power play. They haven't had much going. Bennett throws it in from the North Dakota line. Crisco back to play it. Bennett with it again. Final seconds of the power play. Zucker, a one-timer right on. And Dell with a save. North Dakota clears there at full strength.
Zucker does a great job. That's where he's dangerous. He can get that shot off very well. Very hard shot. He's done a great job at this year with his 21 goals. But North Dakota does a great job on the kill.
And we get another puck up and out of play. Jason Zucker, 21 goals as a freshman. Nearly had another right here. We flash back to 1996. Mike Legg from behind the net scores against Minnesota. We saw a similar play last night. Didn't result in a goal, but look at this rush by Evan Trupp.
It's one of the most creative plays I've ever seen. The crowd just went nuts on their feet. It was so exciting. Shows the creativity that he has and the confidence that he has to have that play. Unfortunately, that Mike Legg goal is a bad memory for me. That was to go to the Final Four. I was on that team. I didn't see it go in that way. It was a very tight game. He was very sad, quiet after that game. Didn't know he scored until at the Detroit airport and saw it on CNN. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Amazing goal that he had. One of the best of all time, Mike Legg.
Denver with it at center. And Nutini is wiped out by Frattin.
Well, that's why Frattin is so good right there. He's got almost double the leading goals of anybody in his team.
There he centers, and Davidson tips it just wide. You're right, he can combine the physical play with the skill that he just showed right there.
And that's what they need a little bit more of. They haven't had a lot of that. That's a great big hit for Frattin. They need more of it. They need Malone. They need the big boys to be coming here in the third period for a North Dakota win.
Denver with an advantage in shots, 24-18. McWilliam back after it for North Dakota. Kevin, the Denver player, or the North Dakota player, is rather frustrated, I think, with some of the penalty calls they've had.
Yeah, and Dave Haxtell in that last TV timeout, emphatic with his players. Use your feet, get in position. You cannot hook or use your stick in any way, shape, or form, or you will get called. I want more feet. I want less stick work out here.
Bennett hit a teammate with a shot there. May have had Dell out of position in the net.
And that's good advice by Haxtell. It's kind of like the outside corner of a baseball umpire. You get the call, you stay with the call, you know you're going to get it. You just got to accept it and not go with the stick infractions.
And these referees tonight have decided that they were not going to allow any of that. It's taken these teams longer to adjust than I would have guessed. Blood comes to center for North Dakota, hits the Denver line. Taken down hard in the corner by Mikowski. Blood and Knight battle there. Blood in awfully deep as a North Dakota defenseman. Mardo covers up for him at the point, but here come the Pioneers to center. Ostro works outside around forward, tried to center, but Mardo broke it up. Mikowski holds it in. Penalty coming. And as Ostro gets to the puck, we get the whistle. Cross-check the call. Jackson, the guilty Pioneer. North Dakota goes on the power play.
Another penalty, another stick penalty, a cross-check. And this is where the North Dakota fans give their team a little energy and get into this game. It's been very quiet. Here's the penalty. Stick just gets up high, more of a high stick than a cross-check, and a big hit earlier. That's the hit we were talking about with Frattin. He can do a lot of good things, very dangerous, and here's the chance just right after. Frattin does a nice job. Davidson, who's played so solid this weekend. Britton again, positionally sound, makes the nice save.
Dustin Jackson with a cross check, and North Dakota gets their fourth power play of the night. For all the penalties we've had, we have yet to have a power play goal. The teams are a combined 0 for 9.
Well, and Anthony, I think some of these games are so evenly matched. We've got a lot of great skill, a lot of good, smart hockey players on this team, and it's tough to get scoring opportunities. And it hasn't been the run and gun game that we thought. There's a lot of skill out there, but there's also a tremendous amount of hockey sense.
Mardo at the near point for North Dakota. To Frattin. Frattin turns it over. Zucker shorthanded. Has it stripped away by Frattin at center. He'd have been off to the races. Lee knocks Frattin down. Shore shorthanded for Denver. Cross to the near side, looking for Zucker. Poked away by Trupp. Trupp at center ice. Frattin takes a hit just inside the Denver line, and here comes Zucker shorthanded. Has Lee with him. 2-on-1. Zucker to Lee. Fire. Save by Dell. And we're going to have a no penalty, just a whistle. And Dell now jumps into the act, pulling Lee off the pile.
And another nice save by Dell. Here's a chance coming up right now. Turnover, big hit by Lee. Puck starts to go the other way. Zucker and Lee heading back. Frattin at the end of the shift can't quite come back. Nice pass over by Zucker. Lee gets it on it. But again, Dell's right there to make the save. And he definitely takes notice whose glove getting swiped off by Ostro when he comes in. But that's the leadership of Ostro trying to create anything for his team as a senior captain.
So we do have penalties called. Lee for Denver, Hextall for North Dakota. The power play will continue for the Fighting Sioux. They have 56 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Well, they continue to sort things out. Denver wanting to know why Aaron Dell doesn't pick up a couple for grabbing Lee. This North Dakota power play has been very good all year. It's been even better lately, up over 40% during their winning streak. And here's what Matt Frattin had to say about the key to their success.
We've kind of got two units that just have a lot of chemistry with each other. We were kind of flip-flopping players back and forth throughout the whole year, and past couple 4 weeks or whatever it is, we just have some chemistry that people are gelling, and we're making plays and finishing them off and executing very good.
Well, look for this to be a shooting power play for North Dakota. You've got Nelson, big body in front, Davidson, Simpson, who likes to shoot the puck, got a great shot, Genoway, who's crafty and creative, and the same with Christo. Look, once they get control of this puck, you just get shots on net, simplify, simplify, simplify. Bodies in front, second and third opportunities.
Face masking against Lee, roughing against Hextall. The North Dakota power play continues, and we remain 5-on-4. Dell for Simpson. Nearing the halfway point of the third period. 11 and a half to go, with North Dakota leading by 1. Denver scored first tonight. Fighting Sioux scored twice in the second period. Miami. Genoway spins away. Christo up the right wing. Forced outside by Mikowski. Nelson back of the net. Back pedals to the corner. Denver's at full strength. Blood plays it in, but the Fighting Sioux must retouch. And Denver starts out. Shore up the right wing. Hits the North Dakota line. Works his way around Blood, but lost the puck. Forbert now takes a return pass on the left wing. Off of his stick, Mikowski plays it back in.
And Shore's one of the guys that Denver, for them to win this game, is going to need to step up. He's had a great year, very consistent, doubled his point production, almost quadrupled his goal scoring from last year, having a great season for Denver.
Lamoureux, 3-on-2 at the Denver line. Played it to the right wing, but it was too far for Gleason. Pioneers bring it back in. Zucker tips it ahead, takes a whack at Dell as he skates by the net. Salazar. Zucker was alone out front, but Salazar fanned on the first attempt. Shore with it. Goes rink wide. Rolls through the legs on the far wall of Miami. Now Salazar plays it in behind the net. Zucker and Shore join the battle.
Getting an end to a shift on both teams here. For a line change.
Trupp pokes it ahead to Frattin, who fires and hit the side of the net. Malone chips it to Trupp, but lost the puck. And here comes Zucker for Denver. Zucker fires, blocked by Genoway, who then ties him up. Fighting Sioux able to play to center.
Both defensive cores, Anthony, we talked about earlier, but they're so solid. They're not letting a lot of penetration in, keeping everybody to the outside. Therefore, we haven't had a lot of great scoring opportunities. Everything's been from the perimeter.
Malone knocked off the puck as he entered the Denver zone. Genoway. At neutral ice, it rolls to the Denver line. Pioneers trying to catch the Sioux in a change. Bennett dropped it back for Nick Shore. Fighting Sioux come out of the corner with the puck. Marto up the left wing. 3-on-2 at the Denver line. Rink wide to a trailing Blood. Blood works his way into the corner, centers. Christo's tied up and couldn't get a shot away. Blood centered again.
That's where Marto's really good. That was just an area pass. He threw it off the boards, let Blood skate into it. Because of it, they get a scoring opportunity. Very smart defensive play by a defensive player, I should say.
Davidson joins the play. Knight to the point. And Forbert's pass was just behind Gleason. Knight drops it to Forbert. His shot deflects out of play. And we'll get a stop. 8:14 remaining. The Fighting Sioux looking for back-to-back titles. Fans, if you just joined us, here's what you missed. Jackson scored first for Denver. They led 1-0 into the second, and then a couple of bad bounces. This one off the skate of Nick Shore. This one off the skate of the goaltender Britton. Goals went to Cristo and Davidson for North Dakota. And the Fighting Sioux have maintained that lead as you look at our Red Baron game reset. North Dakota looking for consecutive championships, trying to become the first team since 2004 to repeat as playoff champions in the WCHA.
And this style right now that we're seeing is probably favoring Denver just a little bit more. North Dakota generally so good at getting the puck down low in the corners in the offensive zone, grinding, cycling, trying to create scoring opportunities, where Denver a little bit more of a handsy team, heady team, not maybe as much drive to the net, but very good on the perimeter. And I just haven't seen North Dakota get the puck in deep and use their forecheck to their advantage much this game.
Truck races after it, centers, and it's broken up by Mikowski. Both teams good transitionally, good teams off the rush, but it's been disjointed, and I think a part of that might be the number of penalties we've had.
Yeah, it definitely disrupts flow. There's no question about it. Just the people that are playing together and interchangeable parts, always playing with someone different.
7:23 to go, still 2-1. Last year in the Broadmoor Trophy game, North Dakota got a goal from Brad Malone. They got goals from Matt Frattin, Danny Cristo, Corbin Knight. And they defeated St. Cloud State by a final score of 5-3 to capture the championship. And now they pursue back-to-back titles. And there have only been 5 teams who have done it, going back to 1982 when they played down to 1 champion. Nobody since 2004.
Again, shows you the parity in the WCHA. Even this weekend with Bemidji State doing as well as they did, Alaska, Anchorage.
Get away with a shot that deflects over the top of the net.
Anthony, I think this is going to be a very exciting 6 minutes. We're getting down to crunch time right now. We got some very competitive players that we talked about all night. It's going to be a very exciting finish to this game.
Getaway had Zucker without a stick, worked around him, then had the puck roll off the end of his stick. Got it back and fires. That was blocked out front. Shore has it, throws it to Zucker as he picks up a stick from the bench. Salazar up the left wing. Across to Shore. Saved by Dell.
Wow, what a play by Zucker, guys, right in front of me here between the benches. He had a split second to grab the stick and then possess the puck to help keep that rush alive. But Aaron Dell has been the best player on this ice all night long, and that trend continued.
Yeah, he gets a great movement from side to side. Nice pass, cross ice, heads up by Zucker just to avoid the check. Salazar comes in, throws it right across to Shore. Shore's got a heavy shot, but again, kind of in the midsection, but Dell's right there, very positionally sound again, makes a big save. And Denver's got to do something to penetrate those North Dakota defensemen, get away from the perimeter. It's the only way you're going to beat Dell, the second, third chances.
Puck comes into the Denver zone. Donovan sidesteps a check. Mikowski. Cristo plays to the point. Forbert with a shot that deflects up and out of play. North Dakota knows they will be in the NCAA tournament. They know they'll be a 1 seed, and they're heading in on a roll. 11-0-1 in their last 12, and absolutely dominant. They've outscored their opponent. They're averaging more than 5 goals per game over a 12-game streak.
But again, we mentioned it earlier in the telecast, but I just love Kerry Eads. When I was talking about his team, you've got everything. You got great defense, you got great goaltending, scoring, grit. What don't you have? And in an instant, he said, a national championship. So these guys are hungry for more, but you just got to love that attitude.
They've been to the Frozen Four 4 times. since Dave Hackstall took over the program. This is their 7th year together. Last 2 years they've been beaten in the first round. New Hampshire and Yale have knocked them out. Yale will be a 1 seed. They won their conference tournament today. Boston College will be a 1 seed. Miami victorious in the CCHA final. They now stand 4 in the pairwise, and it looks like they'll be a 1 seed. Denver has climbed to 5, but I'm not sure they'll supplant anybody even with a win here. Good news for the other WCHA teams, however, in that all the favorites won. Malone here drops to Getaway, fires wide. And it right now puts Omaha at 12, Colorado College at 14, and it looks like there will be 15 berths available. Only 1 team to qualify that's outside the top 16.
And that's great to see, especially for Nebraska Omaha. That had such a great year, especially their first year in the WCHA. Not to be in the Final Five is a big disappointment. So you'd love to see them get in that NCAA tournament.
Getaway plays it to the right side. Frattin sidesteps a check. Now centers for Malone. He's tied up. Picked up on the far side by Ryder.
Look for some of the D now to take some chances for Denver. We're getting under 4.5 minutes here. Donovan and Mikowski, look for them especially. Lee and Phillips as well. They'll probably stay a little bit more home, but look for another defenseman to join the rush, try to create a little bit more activity and energy, trying to get that extra goal.
We pass the 16-minute mark of the 3rd period. Denver looking for the tying goal. Lee wraps it across. Salazar off the bench fires, and it was partially blocked on the way. Lee gloves and drops at center ice. Lee, Shore. Zucker up the left wing. Looking for Salazar. McWilliam back to play it for North Dakota.
North Dakota just trying to move the chains. Very simple. Get it out of our zone. Get it across the blue line. Get it in. Have 3 guys back. Don't let Denver get any odd man rushes.
Mikowski steps up to break it up at neutral ice, but Getaway has it there for North Dakota. And icing is the call. Faceoff will come back down. And let's take a look at the pairwise. Just the last game going in college hockey this weekend. All the other conference championships have been decided. Right now, Denver sits 5, North Dakota sits 3, Duluth 9, Omaha 12, and Colorado College 14. Yale beat Cornell tonight. The one team that's outside of this that will advance is Air Force. They won the Atlantic Hockey Championship over RIT. And that means that Dartmouth is likely out. And it'll be yet to be seen if Denver can gain enough ground to catch Miami. I don't believe they can in the pairwise. Should they is another question. Looks like they'll probably be a 2 seed.
Yeah, and that's just setting up for a great Frozen Four here in Minneapolis in this building again. Very high quality teams, and nice to see the good representation from the WCHA again.
WCHA compiled an outstanding record in non-conference play, and they're very deserving of the 5 berths it appears they will get. Centering pass, Shore couldn't get much on it. Mikowski's shot is blocked. He gets another try. Mikowski will now just throw it to the corner. Nick Shore around to the far side for Bennett. Shore again behind the net. Walks out front. Centers, nobody home. Free to the far point, Mikowski. Lays it down low, Shore. Top of the circle, his shot blocked. Getaway got it out to neutral. Fighting Sioux try to change with 2.5 to go. Nick Shore ahead to Bennett. Bennett fires, it's blocked by Blood. Shore and Getaway battle on the sideboards. To the point, Donovan sends it down low, centers, Miami scores!
Tic-tac-toe. What a great play. Huge with 2 minutes left here to tie the score. There's the skill we talk about at Denver. It goes low to high. Donovan throws it across. Bo Bennett right across, and what a big time goal by Mayani. Here's a great play by Bennett. Just throws it right to the middle, right in front of the net. Dell going side to side, can't quite get there in time. And here we go, 2-2 with 2 minutes to go.
8th of the year for Mayani, who assisted on Denver's first goal.
And that's what Denver, that's the game they need to play, a tic-tac-toe game. They saved it for the end here, but Bo Bennett, very heads-up player, great hands, an excellent pass. And Mayani, a great job of going to the front of the net and burying it.
Nutini for Denver to Mayani. Pioneers get it out to center ice. Forbert there. Now Malone to Cristo, who plays it in.
Every turn, every play, and every blue line is so important this last minute and a half.
Jackson brings it in. They're 3-on-2 and a pad save by Dell. Denver has dominated these last 5 minutes. Just over 1 to go. Ostro back of the net. Pinned to the wall by McWilliam. They continue to dig. It pops right out front where Cristo has it for North Dakota. Cristo gets to the red line and dumps it in.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Big play for Denver to get it in, and it's going to be an icing. Looked like it was touched, but inadvertently. Again, here we're going to take a look at this last goal, and this is the skill from Denver. Here's a play by Bo Bennett, tries to drag it, gets blocked into the corner. He goes after the puck, goes down low, stop. There's a separation, it's going to be sent down to here. Run it. Goes up top. Here's the pass out. Donovan throws it out, stop. Here's the play. These two forwards caught watching. 1, 2, 3. Goes right to the front of the net, bang. Great pass by Bennett.
And Britton is forced to cover this one. Bennett and Mikowski assist on the tying goal. And we have less than a minute to go. Is overtime ahead? We're even at 2. Denver 2, North Dakota 2. Last time we had overtime in the final was 0-7. And the reason we're there is this goal by Denver.
Yeah, and it's a great play all the way around, and that's what you're going to have to do to beat North Dakota. They're so big, so mobile in front that you're going to have a tic-tac-toe passing, and that's what happened there in the big goal. 30 seconds left in regulation.
Pioneers send it down, but this will be icing and another offensive zone faceoff for North Dakota with a chance to create a play here in the final half minute.
Well, and Anthony, it took about 58 minutes to get to where we thought it would be early on with these two great teams, but the energy is back in the building with an exciting finish on hand here at the WCHA Championship.
North Dakota with an edge in the face-off circle, and they win this one too. Genoway at center dumps it in. 20 seconds remaining. Here comes Nick Shore. From long range, it's gloved and held by Dell. And a face-off now in the offensive zone for Denver.
And every one of these guys wants that Broadmoor trophy. They want that banner up in their building. They want to have this first as a stepping stone to champions. North Dakota has their league championship. The Broadmoor, another championship. And then to the Frozen Four back here in St. Paul, and the Xcel Energy Center.
Very important face-off. Malone drawing against Shore. Puck comes back into the North Dakota zone. Frattin has it. Frattin fights through a check. Fights through another, but then lost the puck. Nick Shore has it. And we are headed for overtime. Denver scores with just over 2 minutes left to force an extra session. Kevin Gorg's going to work a little overtime. Our third intermission coming up. He'll visit with Anthony Mayani, who just tied the game. We'll hear from George Wozdecki on what's at stake here tonight. It's all part of our third intermission as we head to an extra session in the Broadmoor Trophy Championship game.